mistake is off limits. The pain of experiencing a miscarriage is something that can crumple your world. We're talking postpartum bodies and everything in between. And they share their story on their battle with infertility. The touching stories of the African woman rolls before you.
I was disappointed in God, in life, in myself.
How many losses have you had?
After that, we had 4 more.
What?
I shouted, I said,
we lost vision, we lost any sound beyond crying.
Our mistakes, advices, regrets, real stories, and more on We Got This Africa. Na Ashako and her intriguing panel serve you real experiences of the African woman. We Got This Africa. We got this.
The Saturday nights just got better.
With unimaginable excitement.
10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Ow, ow, yeah.
The most heated rap battles.
Squad for the work soldiers, but on your campo, Bema.
I play you menace ready, it be me with the top. Godzilla self chop, who be King Kong.
And of course, your A-list celebrity interviews.
I've always said this though, there can only be one Bob Marley, so definitely there should be one episode.
Me? The threesome.
Orafu wa comedy woman de. Yeah. Nyansa. Don't fuck. Lighter.
With myself, Oforiwa.
I'm Jason Alay, and I do this with the man,
DJ Varosky.
Why the party there today? Hey mama, hey I ever say.
March is here, and on MX24, it's GH Month. As part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition, the Ghana Independence Fair, happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24, Silicon Square, Boundary Road, East Legon. It'll be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call 055 0500 555 or 024 235 5956. The Ghana Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March. Buy Ghana to grow Ghana.
Get your hands up! Get your hands up! Get your hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Turn down for what?
Angelina, you be cool in my temperature. If you call,
Say cheese, take a picture. Shaka post, make a see, take a picture.
In the leg book, boah, 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 boah.
Why the party there today? Hey mama, hey I ever say. Shake your body.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Spotlight. My name is Nwang Falong. You're watching MX24 television. Farmers in some parts of the country have reported a shortage in fertilizer. The Ministry of Agric has just recently commented on it, but this evening we're speaking to some farmers. We want to better understand the situation and the interventions that are being made. We're going to go for a quick break, and when we come, we go straight into the conversation with these farmers. Stay with us.
March is here, and on MX24, it's GH Month. As part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition, the Ghana Independence Fair, happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24, Silicon Square, Boundary Road, East Legon. It'll be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call 055 0500 555 or 024 235 5956. The Ghana Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March. Buy Ghana to grow Ghana.
Welcome back to Spotlight. Over here at MX24, we're preparing earnestly for the Independence Fair, which is coming off on the 26th and 27th of March, right here at our forecourt, the Silicon Square in East Legon. If you're a Ghanaian entrepreneur who produces made in Ghana products and you want to be part of this fair, which is dubbed Buy Ghana to Grow Ghana, please give us a call and we will register you to participate. The numbers to call are 0550 500 555. Again, 0550 500 555. Also 0242 355956. That's 0242 355956. Let's come back to this very important discussion about fertilizer shortage and its impact on food security. Last Friday, on the 11th of March, the Minister for Food and Agriculture briefed Parliament on the situation, assuring them that there will be no significant impact on food security in Ghana. Please, let's take a listen to him and we come back to the discussion.
Limited quantities of fertilizers available was a countrywide problem caused by factors beyond the control of this ministry. And these are four. One, the adverse effect of COVID-19 pandemic on international prices of fertilizers. Indeed, some finished products and raw materials experienced over 100% price increase. In fact, when it comes to urea, from $350 per ton, it rose, that's landed at the port of Tema, it rose to $1,200 per metric ton. It's only recently that it was coming down, and now with Ukraine, it's gone up. It's going up again. Two, significant increases in freight charges and its deterring effect on international business, including importation of fertilizers. Three, late payment of fertilizer companies contracted by the Ministry for the 2020 cropping season due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on mobilization of government revenue. And lastly, inability of companies to secure credit facilities in the country to finance their businesses due to the global impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the banking sector. Mr. Speaker, In spite of the inadequate availability of subsidized fertilizers, the ministry worked tirelessly with the participating companies to ensure that the limited quantities were available in all districts where the products were needed. By our analysis, the country remains food secure, notwithstanding the difficulties during the cropping season in 2021.
And that was the Minister for Food and Agriculture addressing Parliament there. Let me just come to my guest in the studio, Nana Oboedi Boateng, convener for Concerned Farmers Association of Ghana, Edward Kariwe, who is General Secretary of the Ghana Agricultural Workers Union, and Charles Nyaba, who is Head of Programs and Advocacy at the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. Hello, good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Spotlight.
Good evening.
Okay, let me just go to Nana Oboedi. If you can quickly give us a better understanding of the situation. What exactly is happening?
Okay, thank you very much, and then good evening to your listeners. And then I'll say a very big thanks to the concerned farmers for doing a great advocacy for how we will go about our farming activity in the country now that the fertilizer problem has increased or maybe has become into a challenge for us. So with the situation now, what we are doing is we are encouraging more people to go into, how do you call it, organic farming. Ghana is a country that we don't consume enough fertilizer like that. And most of our lands don't even need fertilizers. I think this fertilizer issues that we've raised the eyebrow that is getting the media attention need to be turned in a different way, that we have to educate people how the peasant farmers will go into their normal way of doing the agriculture by using the organic way of farming. I think those that need the fertilizer more are the commercial farmers, because the peasant farmers don't have 2 acres, 3 acres, and then 1 acre, and the rest don't need more of fertilizer. And even though some of them might need, we need to do a demarcation. That is the problem that we are facing in Ghana's agriculture. There's no demarcation in the country. We don't test our soil to know that whether we need fertilizer or we don't need fertilizer. So most of them buy fertilizer on the land, which also destroy the land. Now what I'm thinking, this sector, the southern sector now, if care is not taken, will turn into a savanna area, all because of the quantum of fertilizers that we are using, which we don't even need to use it. So I think for the solution, what we have to do is to do a demarcation, test the soils around, to know that this portion of land, you don't even need fertilizer, or we should do the organic way of farming. Now, it has come to us that even globally, people are getting into the organic farming. Why is it that Ghana, our focus rather is shifting into this fertilizer issue? Because most of the fertilizers that we are using have another side effect on us, which it is very bad, because the Western world even now, the food that they even want is the organic way. So why is it that we have a rich soil, our soil is fertile, some portion of the country that the soil is not fertile have to also maybe go into organic farming, or maybe to use a little bit of fertilizer. But moving all over, without fertilizer, we can't survive with organic agriculture. I think it is bad in a way.
I understand you. I mean, you're advocating for some using organic fertilizer. Why do you think that hasn't caught on yet?
Come again?
I just heard you say some of the options we could use is organic fertilizer. This is something that has been suggested even before now. I mean, last year there was a suggestion about that. Why haven't the farmers caught on to that yet?
No, it is not. It is other farmers that they are complaining. But there's some farmers, the other places that we've got into. You see, the farmers need education, which they don't even have it. And who is going to educate them? It is with the concerned farmers that we are going to the various farming communities, educating the farmers how they can do the good practices, because the kind of fertilizers that we are using, it is killing us.
Okay.
Could you believe that they add up the fertilizer with the weedicide all together and spray it on vegetables and then bring it on the market? Even the fruit that we eat, the watermelons and other things, it's been mixed up. You see, so what we are doing is we are even advocating for using organic, because organic is the way that Ghana we should go. That is the only way that can help us. Fertilizer, anything chemical is poison. We have to know that. And let us go to the northern region and see what is happening. Most of the land has been destroyed, all because of the kind of fertilizer that we have been using.
Interesting. I'm going to come back to you shortly, Nana Obuedi, but we're also joined on the line by Edward Kariwe, who's General Secretary of the Ghana Agricultural Workers Union. Edward, welcome to Spotlight. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Edward, let's understand the situation from your perspective, please.
What situation exactly?
The potential shortage of fertilizer.
Well, it is very simple to appreciate that there will be a shortage of fertilizer in the country because Ghana does not produce fertilizer.
Right.
Our fertilizer is imported. So at any point in time, Ghana can run short of fertilizer, and that will result from so many factors. One, when there's a problem at where we import our fertilizer from, then it will affect Ghana. Apart from that, if at any point in time, Ghana cannot find dollars or foreign exchange to purchase the fertilizer, then of course we will have a shortage. So it is normal that when you don't produce the fertilizer yourself, Ghana will always be at the mercy of the global market system.
Has any of your people encountered any shortages yet?
Yes. How do you appreciate that there's shortage? Shortage only emerges when prices have gone up.
Okay.
You know, and since 2021,
yes,
and I would like you to pay particular attention to the data I'm giving you, so that you can verify for yourself. You know, mostly when we speak from civil society, those in public office and authority think that we are simply not appreciating government policy. In 2021, and I want to make this point clear, on 16th July 2021, front page of Graphic carried a story, a very big banner headline, that the Planting for Food and Jobs program was struggling for survival, and it was attributed to the Minister for Agriculture. Now, the Minister for Agriculture then explained why the Planting for Food and Jobs program was struggling for survival. His explanation was simple, that they had bought fertilizer from suppliers of fertilizer for the Planting for Food and Jobs, and they were not able to pay. And because of that, the suppliers were not ready to supply more fertilizer to them on credit. So they do not have enough fertilizer to supply to the farmers. And as a media house, which you are aware that around that time, there was shortage of fertilizer. Farmers could not find it to broker, to apply on their farms. And that is just because government did not have the money to pay for previous supply and then to encourage the suppliers to produce supply. So the point I've made is, even if there's enough fertilizer in the global market, so long as you don't have money, you cannot have enough fertilizer. And this is what happened. So this year, today we know, those in government do not want us to be using certain words to say that government is broke, Ghana is broke. But it is clear that everywhere the country is broke. It doesn't have resources. You know, they were only relying on the e-levy, which has not yet been passed. So government does not have the money. They have overborrowed to a point where the loans are unsustainable. They cannot get further loans because the global institutions have also downgraded them. So all these things put together, you should appreciate that this year, that is 2022, we are not going to have fertilizer because supposing that fertilizer price had remained the same from where we import it, government will not still be able to purchase it. Not to talk about the fact that prices of fertilizer has gone up for various and obvious reasons. Because what is happening in between Russia and Ukraine has, affected the global economy. And fertilizer is one of the hardest hit or affected parts of the global economy. Right. And therefore, we are
we will be importing fertilizer at a very high cost. And Ghana does not have the money. And we just do not have the money to import the fertilizer. We just do not have the money to subsidize the fertilizer. And that's why government is now saying we'll subsidize only 50% of it. You know, so the reasons are clear that this year we are not going to have the fertilizer.
Right. I'm going to come back to you in a moment, but I just want to add to what you said. In fact, last year, July, the ministry did admit some challenges with fertilizer, and I'm just going to go over some of the responses they gave with regard to that. They admitted that the situation was partly due to the global impact of COVID-19 pandemic. If we played the insert of the minister just now who was addressing Parliament, and he did say there were some challenges, and he attributed it to supply chain challenges, the impact of COVID-19 making it payments a little late and all of that. Now, the farmers had already lamented the shortage of these fertilizers, warning of potential consequences on food security, and this was since July 2021. Now, although the farmers were very worried, the ministry did try to allay some fears, responded to the concerns, and mainly the public relations officer of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. He explained that the ministry was aware of the difficulties the farmers are facing. And let me just quote him. He said, "We also admit that fertilizer is a challenge. These input dealers had an arrangement with the ministry to supply farmers with fertilizers. And the global effect as far as COVID-19 is concerned has had an adverse effect on us. So with the subsidy price given to the input dealer, they complained they had made losses." So there's been an ongoing problem over there. But let me come back to you, Edward. How do you think this is going to affect food production? The minister has told us there's not going to be any serious impact on food security. Do you share his sentiments?
Well, that has always been the position of the minister. And I don't know whether the minister lives in Ghana. And I don't know why he thinks that whatever he says, we must always believe it. Yes, of course, if the minister is the public official responsible for the agricultural sector management. But unfortunately, he's managing it very badly, poorly. Because where are the results? This same minister told us last year, when we brought up the issue that given the development in 2021, there is going to be shortage of food in 2022. The minister told us that was not true. And he even went further to say that there was going to be a bumper harvest. He was relying on the month of October to December, as if we don't know what those months are meant for. Because those months are the period that we are harvesting. And it is clear to every Ghanaian that during harvesting period, prices of food have come down. Because almost everybody has a little harvest and to eat. Therefore, it is normal that prices will come down. That he went further to say that there will be a bumper harvest, which we challenge him. Today, the minister has come to say that we should not be worried about anything. I don't think that continue to deny the truth will make the truth not to be what it is. He should know that he is not given the position to tell us what is not true. He should tell us the true state of agriculture in this country. Look, I am in the northern part of the country now. Come and see what is happening. People do not even have the food. And even wherever, the whole of Ghana, prices have gone up. Why is he still denying? And this is the major problem about him. Because when it is obvious, he will say that there is no cause for alarm. Look, even without the Russia-Ukraine war, Ghana was on the path of having food shortage in this country, in 2021 in particular. Because this is now, we are entering the lean season. This is March. From March onwards is the lean season, which food prices will go up. And the minister, we can't accept what he continues to say. Because he's paid to tell us the truth. He's paid to manage the agricultural sector. He's not paid to come and deny the truth. He should go to the market. Because if he says that he's on the ground, he should go to the market. And you too, as a journalist and any other Ghanaian who is a consumer, can testify to the fact that prices of food have gone up. And the situation is getting worse. Right. More so, when this our country is faced with multiple challenges. Look, the city is depreciating very fast every day. Fuel prices are going up. Cost of production is going up. Cost of everything is going up. Prices of foodstuffs, everything is going up. Why is this so denying the fact that what is happening in the economy will not affect the agricultural sector?
Mr. Kariwa, so, just a moment ago, we were speaking to Nana Boedi Boateng, and he was saying that farmers need to move towards more organic fertilizer. Is this something you would advocate for the farmers?
Well, I think that farmers, we have called for this organic fertilizer in the past. But you see, we need a national policy. We need a national direction. And the national direction is not supporting organic fertilizer. The national policy is rather promoting chemical fertilizer. And that is the ministry, which is leading to import fertilizer and buying chemical fertilizer as the subsidized fertilizer for farmers. If they had started this, in fact, they did start the program with both chemical and organic fertilizer, but they virtually abandoned the organic fertilizer side and concentrated on the chemical fertilizer.
Right.
Look, so it is a good call, and that...
Is it because the chemical fertilizer is cheaper or easier to get? Why do you think there's a higher focus on chemical fertilizer?
You see, it is cheaper and it is readily available.
Right.
But then the consequences of the chemical fertilizer in the short and long term is dire. In the sense that this chemical fertilizer even kills some organic material. For instance, other living organisms, insects and so on. Some of them cannot withstand the chemical fertilizer. They die off. Right. The chemical fertilizer also leaches into the soil. And the chemical fertilizer is also washed into our rivers. And it pollutes our rivers and affects marine life. You know, the chemical fertilizer, once you start to use it, you must always use it. Otherwise, any period or season that you fail to apply chemical fertilizer, you are going to get a very miserable yield, because it is like a disease where once you begin to take the medication, you must continue to take it. So once you continue, you apply chemical fertilizer, you have to continue to apply chemical fertilizer. So it's not sustainable. It is not environmentally friendly. In fact, this is what the ministry should have led this country to try and move away from chemical fertilizer and produce organic fertilizer. It is even also easier and cheaper to promote the organic fertilizer, because the raw materials for organic fertilizer can be sourced within the country, everywhere. That of the chemical fertilizer, we don't have the raw materials here. You have to import all those things. You see, so it is when you turn the whole economy into an importing economy. Look, can you? I mean, what is the rationality, the rationale behind government policy of benchmark value policy, whereby when people import goods into this country, you are saying that you are going to give them a certain percentage of the duty that they will have paid, you waive it to them. How do you do this? More importantly, the things they import into this country are not essential. More importantly, those that they import into this country, some of them are also produced in this country. How do you promote rice production locally and at the same time encourage rice imports into this country by way of giving a waiver to the importer that some of your tax that you are supposed to pay, will waive it, you won't pay it? Why do we do this to ourselves? So it is the same attitude that the things that are supposed to make Ghana what they should be, to be self-reliant, even though they talk about them, they don't do them. Because organic fertilizer is the way to go. But here is the case, government is driving chemical fertilizer, led by the minister. Because do we know how much we spend in dollars, millions of dollars to import chemical fertilizer into this country? Apart from the fact that it destroys our environment, today, now we have a problem at the global level. Prices have gone up. We don't have the money to go and buy it. So our whole agricultural system is in jeopardy.
Okay.
What is happening?
Mr.
And when
Carrera.
he talks, then he says that the situation is not like that.
Right. Mr. Carrera, I'll come back to you in a moment. Let me just go to Nana Boydi Boateng, who's still on the line. He's convener for Concerned Farmers Association of Ghana. Mr. Boateng, from Mr. Carrera's submission, we can see that he doesn't mind the organic fertilizer suggestion, but he is saying there should be a more organized approach to it, something that is led by the ministry, for example. Have you been engaging the ministry so far?
Yeah, well, before we organize ourselves well and other things,
right.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture, they are policy makers. They are not implementers. We are the farmers. We are on the field. We farm. This problem is for the farmers. It is the farmers that are causing all this problem because what? From 1993 downwards up to 2000, it wasn't like that. We have an apex body that controls the farmers' activity and everything in this country. But all of a sudden, it changes. Though we have freedom of association, you can go and form an association here and there. But then we have an association which is the national body of all farmers and fishermen in this country. And the thing is, if all farmers come together as one, we will control these fertilizer issues. Because one, let me ask, now that we are trying for fertilizer, the government can bring fertilizer right now. 90 or 70% of the fertilizer will be smuggled outside. And at the end of the day, government himself don't even know the number of farmers that we have in the country. That is why they said we should form LBOs. And now as I'm speaking...
Is it the farmers who are smuggling it or other workers in the supply chain?
Come again?
Is it the farmers who are smuggling it out of the country or other supply chain actors?
Well, I don't know who smuggled it, but then I can't say it's the farmers that smuggle it because at the end of the day, it doesn't come to the farmers.
Okay.
The fertilizer doesn't come to the farmers. This is the situation that if the fertilizer gets to the farmers know themselves. Let's say peasant farmers. How many are you? We are 100. So the 100 fertilizers will get to peasant farmers. They will give it to their members.
Right.
How many farmers are concerned farmers? We are, let's say 50. They will give it to us. How many farmers are with the Ghana National Association of Farmers and Fishermen? We are, let's say 100 or 1 million. So the fertilizers will be distributed according to the groups. But this is a situation that government will bring the fertilizers and we will not know where the fertilizer will pass. And nobody make an account with. Nobody make any account. We are just causing financial loss to the state. So what we are doing now is we are advocating that all of us have to come together as one.
Okay.
Like the way we have the GSA. When Ghana Blaster is going to play football, they give the money to the GSA. They don't give it to the club. And the problem that we the farmers are having with the Ministry of Agriculture, why is it that the ministry is not dealing with the FBOs, but rather open up? They open the whole thing. So anybody at all can go in for fertilizer and then go and resell it or rebrand the whole sack and then resell it again. That is the problem. That is the problem. That is why we are calling that all of us have to come together. Without unity, there's nothing that we can achieve. Because I see to it that we are joking with the Ghana's agriculture. Ghana agriculture is in danger all because farmers are not united. The front has been divided. So government don't even know left to right where it should go. Government is confused. All because, let's say, when they make any allocation that they breed budget, 5 million Ghana cedi or 10 million Ghana cedi have been allocated for farmers in this country. Where does the money go? Where does the money go? We don't even know. Ask Mr. Carrera, where does the money go? So this is the time that we have to come together as one. We should forget about blaming government here and there, saying that we need this and that. We need to come together as one because the Constitution gives us the power to be on our own. And the Ministry of Agriculture also gives us the power because they've written to us. That was 1993. They said the Farmers and Fishermen Association, they are the embodiment of all farmers and fishermen in this country. And every matter concerning agriculture and everything in this country, they have to hold it. So why is it that the Minister of Agriculture is running the affairs of the farmers? Right. It is that. Because farmers are not united.
How can we make this organic fertilizer more available so that the farmers can easily substitute with the chemical fertilizer?
Well, they can go with the traditional way of farming, with the peasant farmers, the farmers that they need this chemicals to do their farming. And with the peasant farmers, they don't need much, and most of the land too. That I'm speaking. Some of them have not even seen fertilizer before, and they produce a very good yield of maize and then cassava and the rest and vegetables. Which are going out there to farming. They don't add any chemicals. They don't. So what we need is education. Education to our people. Because without fertilizers, can't we survive? Without fertilizers, can't we do our agriculture? Now we are going in for fertilizer. The focus is on fertilizer. What about water? Now we are in a climate change, global climate change. What about if the rain stops falling now? What are we going to do? You see, so there are a lot of challenges and things that we need to think about and see how the way forward that we can do. And then the best thing is for us to come together and to put up a better strategy how we can govern this farming activity in this country. If it's not so, then we should forget it. We'll continue to talk and talk and talk and talk, and at the end of the day, nothing will happen.
And Nabi, how often does this happen? Because I see it's happened a few other times over the years. Is there a specific spacing to this occurrence? How often?
It happens each and every day. It happens each and every day. Farmers' problems are many. They can't even, it's uncontrollable, all because the problem is politically divided. And the farmers are doing politics. And as a farmer, when you do politics, it will not help you. That has bring the fall of the Ghana's agriculture. Both how they call it, the Burkina Faso, and so why is the Burkina Faso are going forward and Ghana we are not going forward? All because they are well organized. Their farmers are well organized. They have a strong farmers front. But let's come together. Where is the front, the farmers front? Politically divided. Because political farmers have invaded us, and then they are rather taking the fertilizers, they will send it to Burkina Faso and the rest and go and sell. That is the problem. So the solution of this fertilizer will lie in the issues and everything. We need to come together as a strong body, as one, to decide on our own, to do things on our own. Government, we should forget about government. We can do our own fertilizer. With this organic fertilizer, it is very small. This man is there for to produce enough of organic fertilizer. We can even get to that side and give it to our peasant farmers. Because rather than relying on other countries, without them we can't survive. We can't do an agriculture. It is very bad. Every country starts to do things on their own. What is Ghana doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? 1983, that was a bushfire. Look at what happened. The farmers did well at that time. Organized themselves well, did so well all because there was a good leadership at that end, and they came out with a very good yield. And what is happening to us now? Now that we have even the structures and everything that we can even do more, now that we are even not doing nothing. So I think the problem is the farmers front. We need to come together as a strong body to do things on our own, to tell the government that this is what we want, not what you want and you can do it, give it to us. Because it seems government, what comes into the government's mind is what it does for the farmers, which is bad. We need to tell the government that this is what we want. So give us. We need this and that, so that we can do it and we also will pay.
Nana, the minister has made many comments where this is concerned. Also, some assurances about food security. Do you buy into his assurances?
Madam, the only problem, and then the solution is what I'm talking about. We need to come together strong. The minister is a politician. He is there to control the affairs of the farming, right? He can get things right because of the information that people will be giving him might be wrong. You see, we are on the field. We know what is happening. And then we have been given the power to govern the farming activity in this country. So what are we doing? What are we doing? You see, so the problem now, the solution now is we need to come together. Mr. Karawe, we have to come together. I think by next month or next 2 months, we need to call for Congress, for all farmers of this country to come to sit down, to plan well. What is the way forward of Ghana's agriculture? What should we do? It is better than listening to the politicians. They cannot tell us what we should do. We started farming before the politician came. Farming is the old job in the world.
Do you see the present situation affecting food security or food supply in any way?
Well, it is affecting everything, all because even we haven't even bad agricultural practices, because who is there to educate the farmers?
Right.
Who is there to educate the farmers?
Right.
As I'm speaking to you, plenty people are getting into a wrong direction, and they don't even know where they should go. They said mango. You can see a land that is suitable for cassava and other things. They are planting mango on it. Land that it is good for, let's say, cassava. They are doing a different thing. And now, as I'm speaking to you, most of the fertile lands have been taken away for the real estate. And everybody is quiet. If we are talking about fertilizer, what is fertilizer? There are a lot to do. We should forget about the fertilizers and come together as strong and then face the reality and see how we can strategize and then feed our country.
I hear you very loud and clear, but let me check with Edward Curry whether he agrees with you. Hello, Edward.
Yes.
The farmers need to come together, Nanabi is saying. Is this in any way going to solve the problem?
Well, I've not heard, I mean, the line was not so clear, I was not hearing Wahin very well, but as the call goes, you know, after all, we need to take we take our destiny into our own hands.
Right.
That is what Wahin is calling for, because, you know, the state is supposed to lead us through the Minister of Agriculture, and they're leading us to nowhere, you know, so if there's a call for we, the farmers, to come together to decide what we want to do. Certainly, we need to do that. We have got to that point that we can no longer rely on the Ministry of Agriculture to be able to come up with policies, implement them in a manner that will benefit the farmers of this country.
How did you manage in previous times when there were supply challenges?
Well, no government in Ghana ever since the beginning, or I mean, since the modern Ghana was born, is immune from global challenges. So when it happens to any government, I mean, you need to find a way of dealing with it. But when this planting for food and jobs came through this government, the minister has consistently fed the president, our president, with information that is not true. And look, we can no longer sit down and allow that to go on, because in 2021. His Excellency the President, during the State of the Nation address, they indicate that thanks to the Planting for Food and Jobs program, there was then abundant food in this country, to the extent that we're exporting banana, I mean plantain, and that of tomato. When in actual fact, some few weeks back, the importers of tomatoes from Burkina Faso complained, even demonstrated, that they were being attacked on the way by armed robbers. So they were calling for police intervention or support. And police gave them escort. Since then, they've been escorting them to go to Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes for this country. How could we suddenly then be exporters of what? Tomatoes? No, this was information that was given to the president, which was not right. To the extent that His Excellency went further to say that maize production for 2020 has gone up by 110%. Which again, this information came from the ministry. Meanwhile, few months after the State of the Nation address in 2021, there was no maize in the system. Country farmers could not get it. Our poultry industry has collapsed. Because there's no maize, there's no soya bean. Then the ministry came out to give some unacceptable reason that the maize was exported. We warned them that no, that is not the case. The reality is that there was no maize. Our production levels were low. Look, the impression they are creating to Ghanaians through the ministry is that Ghana in the sub-region is doing well when it comes to agricultural production. That is not true. We cannot even produce tomatoes to feed ourselves. And let me tell you, if you go to every household, every meal, you will find tomato product there. So the per capita consumption of tomato will always go up. So what we need to do is that we have to concentrate and increase tomato production. But here is the case: we are importing from Burkina Faso, and tomato is one fruit that needs a lot of water. Burkina Faso cannot have more water than us. Climate change environment does not favor them more than us. Soil fertility and the rest, they do not have it better than us. Yet they can produce to feed themselves and export to us. We are doing nothing. We cannot even produce where we are capable of being. Even right. It is all about talk. That we are going to have one village, one dam. Where are the dams? Why is the minister not talking about those ones again? For irrigation, where are they? Look, it is out of these frustrations that I believe Brian is saying that we should take our future into our own hands and deal with it and leave the ministry. But you see, we cannot stop talking because the minister is living on the taxpayers' money, and this country has got no money again. And he presides over huge millions of dollars, which he spends daily. He needs to account for them. When we talk about accountability, no one is saying that he has necessarily spent the money or put the money in his pocket. But do we get value for all that money that is given to him by the taxpayer? Then when we raise concerns about food, potential low output, you say no, there's going to be bumper harvest. Who is going to hold him on? You, the journalist and engineer, should hold him on. And I think that it is high time he leaves that office to somebody else who can come and bring new life to it.
Right, Mr. Kariwa, is the Planting for Food and Jobs program not addressing some of these issues?
The Planting for Food and Jobs program is a failure. It's a complete failure. The purpose of the Planting for Food and Jobs program was to increase agricultural output.
Right.
So that with this output, we can have enough to feed Ghanaians and also have enough for industrial use. For instance, if you take maize will be formulated into feed product for the poultry. You see? But if you don't even have enough to eat, to make cake, where are you going to get it to now go and give, formulate it to feed products to give to farmers? So it is a failure in that respect. Take crop by crop. All the items I've said, they are all a failure. Now, the other thing is that it leads to huge loss of money because we spend a lot of money. Now, the ministry comes to tell us that there's so much smuggling of the fertilizer to the extent that donkeys, unaided by human beings, can smuggle this fertilizer. And they saw the donkeys carry the fertilizers across the border. And they could not stop them because they are not human beings. How do we accept such an explanation? You take millions of dollars to go and import fertilizer to come and allow it to carry it into our neighboring countries. You say you have no solution. So is it not a failure? Are there not those who told us that the fertilizer is being smuggled out?
Right.
If it is not a failure, where is the food? And what are the prices of foodstuffs in the market? So it is a total failure. We need a national conversation around it. But the unfortunate thing is that the ministry is still denying that it is a failure. They are still denying that there is no problem and that it is doing well. So if it's doing well, then it means there is no need for solutions. Meanwhile, we have been losing money every day in, day out because taxpayers' money is given to them to import and to support the Planting for Food and Jobs.
Right.
So
I'll be back to you in a moment, Mr. Kariwa. Interesting observations there. But holistically, Nanabi has said that he has given some options, organic fertilizer, the farmers coming together. What other ways do you think this problem can be solved once and for all?
Well, first and foremost, we must accept that there's a problem with the Planting for Food and Jobs program.
Okay.
We need a national conversation to identify the type of challenges that are there and then the magnitude of those challenges. And then also, based on the magnitude of the challenges, we then look at what appropriate solutions can be adopted to deal with those challenges. We cannot leave this to the Ministry for Agriculture alone. We cannot. It is the appropriate stakeholders. I want to talk about the stakeholders and know them, those who are in the agricultural sector, and the farmers, the civil society that are there, and so on. We need to have a national conversation on that. That will also allow know what will be the short-term measures we should take to address the imminent, I also call it pandemic of food shortage in this country, which is before us. And we'll also be looking at the long term, where to go. This cannot be left to the minister alone, because they are already living in denial. They are living in denial in the face of the obvious shortage of food, high prices. They are still living in denial. So we need a national conversation. This is my solution. Until we do that, and to accept that there's a problem, and then identify the magnitude of the problem and the nature of the problem, for all of us to now look at the solutions for both short-term and long-term, then come 2023, we'll be in serious mess than we are in today. And 2024, the same way. So we need to start now and to really the scene to be taken.
Right. And thank you, Mr. Kariwe. Starting now identifying the problems and tackling them properly to ensure solutions that are long-term. Let me go to Nana B and see if he has the same comments. Nana Boateng, just if you can quickly take me through some solutions that you think will target this, that you haven't mentioned yet.
Yes. I think we met the president. And then the president said that he is even happy to meet the farmers of this country. So if we are the farmers, leaders of the farmers of this country, then the solution is, we are the solution to get it. And ask, what have we done so far after meeting the president? We've done nothing. So the problem is with the farmers. The problem, it is with the farmers. We don't have any national talk and any other thing. What we have to do, we need to sit up with the farmers. We have to call all the NGOs to meet and discuss the way forward of this government agriculture. Because one, if budget is bill right and then money has been allocated for farmers, we don't see it. Where does the money go? Farmers don't have any account that the money will come inside that will use it to run the affairs of this agriculture. It is the Minister of Agriculture that is running the business, which is not so. They are policy makers. They are the policy makers. This planting for food and jobs is a very brilliant and laudable idea. But what happened? Because the government or the ministry don't trust the farmers. Because they are not together. They are scattered. 3,600 NGOs in this country. How can government deal with them? That is why the president said that we should go back and reorganize ourselves and come back again. When after meeting the president, we've not gone again. What is preventing us to go back to the president and tell the president, Mr. President, this is the apex body of all farmers and fishermen in this country. This is what we want to do. This is what we the farmers, we want. So give us the assurance or give us this and let us do it. But we've done nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Everybody has his NGO doing his own thing here and there. It will not help. The best solution is we to come together as one. When we are strong, the government know that he's giving farmers a target. Let's say this year, farmers of this country, I need 100 million tons of maize. I need this tonnage. I need this and that. But there's nothing like that. Government cannot give us any tonnage for which to produce, all because the individuals are doing their farming. Government cannot tell me that I should bring my rice to this warehouse. For what? It is all because we are not together. All these warehouses that they put up, it is nice. The only thing that wasn't good enough was the one district wonder, because what we need is the water connecting to the various farming communities that farmers have to use.
Thank
you. Pay for irrigation, you have to pay for. So what we need to do now is we need to recall all farmers to come together so that we sit down and see the way for them, go back to the president and tell the president, Mr. President, this is what we want. This is how the solution is. And if you go in this way to help us. Now what is happening now is rather bringing the agriculture down. I think that is the best solution. That is what we have to do. Without that, we'll continue to talk on radio and TV and nothing will come up.
Thank you so much, Nana Oboidi Boateng. He's a convener of the Concerned Farmers Association of Ghana. We also spoke with Edward Kariwe, who's General Secretary of the Ghana Agricultural Workers Union. Is the problem with policy or the farmers? And how soon can these problems be solved? We'll continue to follow these conversations and solutions and bring you updates right here on Spotlight on MX24 television. My name is Nwong Falong. On behalf of the entire production team, we're grateful for your time. Good evening.
If you're into content production for digital or TV, say hello to the MX24 studios. We're the prime location for your music video shoots, live productions, TV